Hey, um, so I want to talk about something that's really crazy. I just came across it today when I was reading my Bible, and I'm trying to make this video really quick, so I didn't have time to like set anything up or anything. So I just have to hold my phone like this. Um, and this is totally off topic, not what I normally talk about, but I just thought it was so fascinating. And my husband's almost home from work, so I have to do this really fast. So, what I wanted to share with you was that today I was reading in John chapter 21, and I was just reading along, and it's the story of when Jesus appears to the disciples after he has resurrected, and they're fishing, and they've been fishing all night and they haven't caught anything. And then, he says, "Oh, throw your net on the other side." And they do, and they haul up all these fishes. And remember, like, Peter is so excited because he realizes it's Jesus. He jumps out of the boat and swims to him. And it says in the text, it says they hauled the net ashore full of large fish, 153 of them. And I was like, wow, 153. Now, I'm not trying to be, I don't know, conspiracy theorist, or I don't know what you even want to call it. There's a lot of people into like numerology, or what do you call that? Like in Revelation, where they try to make 666 mean Nero or something. If you know me at all, that is not my take on that. I'm not into that at all. But I do think numbers in the Bible have significance. And so I got to thinking about like 153. I tried to look up where's 153 found, and I think this is the only place in the Bible where 153 is found. So I just randomly started trying to divide it by different numbers, which is really funny because math is not my thing, so I don't know what got into me. But I realized that I tried to divide it by 9. And when I divided it by 9, is that right? 153 divided by 9 was 17. And I was like, okay, well, I can see how 9 is significant because that's 3 times 3. And we know that 3 is significant in the Bible, but 17. So then I got to looking at 17, and it says 17 is significant in the Bible. Joseph was 17 years old when he was sold by his brothers into slavery. Jeremiah bought a plot of land for 17 shekels. I didn't know this one. This was so cool. In Romans chapter 8, there are 17 things that cannot separate us from the love of God. 17 things. The ark rested on the 17th day of the month. The resurrection happens on the 17th day of Nisan. And then, so then I'm thinking about 17 some more. 17 is 10 and 7. Well, 10 obviously is significant in the Bible because that is the law, the 10 Commandments. And 7 represents, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say 7 represents completeness, fullness, rest, peace. And so we have this idea of the law being completed, completeness, fulfillment of the law, entering rest and peace. And I just thought, wow. 10 plus 7, completion of the law, entering God's rest and peace. So I thought that was really cool. But there's more. It turns out that 17 is the triangular of 153. I don't know. Look, I didn't come up with that on my own. Chat told me that because obviously I wouldn't know that. But the triangular is when if you were to add like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 all the way up to 17, do you know what you would get? 153. Isn't that fascinating? Maybe it means nothing, but I think it means more than nothing. I think maybe there is significance to 153, and maybe it has something to do with the number 17. And Isn't it so neat how math is built into so many things that we don't think about? That's going to be a video for another time. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. So I hope you get a little bit of happiness out of that.